Rugged phones are becoming more common, but as some of the design lessons are incorporated into standard phones, so the rugged phones get more, well, rugged. Take this, the Blackview BL8800 Pro. It's heavy, weighing 373 grams, and has not just the almost universal standard IP68 waterproofing, but also IP69K and military grade hardiness. But what can you put it through, really? I'm Christian Corley, and you're watching Make Use Of Reviews. For the past couple of weeks, I've been using the Blackview BL8800 Pro, a 5G phone with dual SIM slot, pre-installed crapware, and even an annoying screen in Russian, just to put you off using it. But it has a special feature: thermal imaging. No, of course you don't need it, but it's there anyway, courtesy of the FLIR or FLIR app. Now, to clarify a few things, thermal imaging detects infrared radiation on the subject, making it useless as a means of secretly seeing what your neighbours are doing. You'll just have to stick to peeking through that illicitly drilled hole and checking their bins. But what thermal imaging does do is detect heat sources in the dark. This has a few useful applications, admittedly mostly when there is no immediately accessible light source. It's a feature for camping or going on manoeuvres more than anything else. And this hardy phone is certainly ideal for the outdoors and nights away from home, boasting a 25-hour battery in our benchmarking. And while this is the only notable result from testing, the battery can also be used to charge other devices. Price and specification wise, the Blackview BL8800 Pro is slap bang in the lower mid-range area, and the Android 11 based Doke 3.0 operating system is littered with crapware and even an app installer in Russian that you can't uninstall, and which promises to install a load more apps that you don't want if you press the button that you probably can't read. There is no microSD card slot, but the Blackview BL8800 Pro has 128GB of storage to complement the 8GB of RAM and octa-core MediaTek Dimensity 700 CPU. Charging is via a hidden USB Type-C port on the bottom of the phone, and the device ships with an adapter, USB-C to USB-C cable, and a weird plectrum for opening the SIM card slot and USB port door. I wouldn't advise using it to play the guitar. It isn't particularly useful as a key for the phone, the one that shipped with hours snapped on the third use. A quick note about the SIM card slot. The phone is dual SIM, but cannot run dual 5G SIMs. Instead, you'll need one 5G and one 4G SIM. With a 6.5-inch display and 248 by 1080p IPS resolution, the Blackview BL8800 Pro is 15mm thick and comes with a screen protector pre-applied, although, as you'll see soon, you may want to change this. The Blackview BL8800 Pro has IP68 and IP69K dust and waterproofing, as well as military grade hardiness. But how tough is this phone really? Well, to find out, I put it through a series of tests. Now, according to the device system spec, the Blackview BL8800 Pro has IP68 weatherproofing protection, which means it's waterproof. While it isn't responsive underwater, the Blackview BL8800 Pro, nevertheless, screen comes on, and as you withdraw it, it does still work. Still works.
Over the years, I've lost several phones through dropping them and then breaking. Can the BL8800 Pro survive this 12-foot drop? Well, let's find out. Here we are, and yeah, it's fine. It's still working. It's still responding. Say you're in a survival situation and there are two of you, and you need to throw your rugged phone to the other person, and they're quite some distance away. Well, this part is what I call the throw test. The throw might not be successful. It might hit the ground short, it might go over their head and they be unable to catch it. The phone is going to land. It might land badly. So I take the phone and I chuck it as far as I can, like this. Let's take a look. And yeah, it's fine. We've all been there. You're crossing the road and you drop your phone. What can be done about it? Well, very little, because traffic is going to come and traffic is going to ride over your phone or drive over your phone. Now, I thought using a car might be overkill for this, so I'm on my bike. Let's see how the Blackview BL8800 Pro deals with being cycled over. Let's give it another go. That's what I like to see. It's been ridden over by 4 bikes, and it's got a bit of an impact graze there in the screen protector, but otherwise it works fine.
Over the past few years, I've tested a whole bunch of ruggedized phones and found them all to stand up to the promises they carry. The Blackview BL8800 Pro is another good rugged phone, but thermal imaging seems like a bit of a gimmick. There is no real reason to have it, and its presence is a distraction when the camera right here promises 50 megapixel resolution that doesn't appear in any of the camera app menus. With its 25-hour battery life and ability to recharge other devices, the Blackview BL8800 Pro is a smart option to take on days out in the countryside or wilderness, but its size and weight mean that this phone will never be your daily driver. If you're interested in reviews of consumer technology of all kinds, subscribe to the Make Use of YouTube channel, where you'll also find some tips and tricks and even some giveaways.